Daredevil Born Again Season 2 has entered a brand new phase, and man, that was a great episode. Hi, I'm Jordan, the Nerd of Gold, and yes, the critics were absolutely right when they said that after the third episode, the show shifts into a whole new gear, a whole new era, however you want to say it, and yeah, the drama, the stakes, the action, all of it is way better and more pronounced in this episode than it has been in the past episodes, and yeah, I'm glad we are at this point. We got to see some great stuff out of Bullseye in this entire episode, and yeah, Wilson Bethel is easily the highlight of this episode because of the performance he gives, the action that they give Bullseye, like how he's bouncing spoons and like paper clips, or not toothpicks, not paper clips, just like any small thing he can use to throw and kill. And I love the way they demonstrate it. It feels more fantastical, feels more superhero-y than his performance was in season 3 of the last series. Not to say that that was in bad action by any means. That was some pretty great stuff right there. But this definitely feels more comic book in tone compared to that, which was a little more grounded, even though it's like, yeah, he never misses and he can do some bounce shots with random objects. But yeah, this leaned even more into that, and I loved it. Yeah, everything was great in this episode. The only downside that I see in this episode really is the fact that it appears Swordsman is leaving. I hope it's not a permanent goodbye, but the way the scene played out, I feel like he's not going to be in the rest of the season, which is sad because Tony Dalton is charming, and I would like to see more of him as Swordsman because I feel like thanks to his performance, we've got a character who's got a lot of potential there, and I would like to see that potential acted on. So I'm really hoping this is him just taking a quick break and he'll show up at the end of the season, or he'll rejoin for season 3. I don't know what his future is, but I do hope to see more of him. And that being said, yeah, this episode continued to be great. Wilson Fisk continues to be an excellent villain. Vincent D'Onofrio chews scenery up every time he's on screen. He is the center of attention on that front. And I love that he was using his fight with the Matterhorn like this was a plan to draw out an attack on him to take down his opponents. He was putting his life on the line on that front. And yeah, even the boxing match with him, there's a 90-pound difference between that. And I know, like, there's, I don't know what the weight differentials are in boxing, but I know 90 pounds puts Wilson in a very different weight class on that front. So yeah, that was an insane fight there too. That was well done. And then, yeah, I loved the scene with Mr. Charles when he was trying to intimidate Fisk on that front, being like, hey, you are an important player right now, but consider that you are still small in the grand scheme of things. And he's like, I might be small, but I'm still dangerous, when Buck took out his 2 dudes that Mr. Charles had brought with him. And Mr. Charles is just thinking after that, he's like, I'm really going to have to like teach him a lesson on that front and show him that he's not the one in charge. I am in this moment. And I can't wait to see what Mr. Charles is going to do on that front, especially with Wilson now being so angry after, big spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, Vanessa got killed in this episode. I don't know exactly who Bullseye was aiming at. Presumably, he was aiming at Fisk, but he ended up killing Vanessa when Fisk tried to deflect what Bullseye was throwing with his championship belt, and a shard hit her head. That surprised me. I really did not think they were going to do that. I was thoroughly like, what? In that moment. So yeah, I really enjoyed that because, like, yeah, there's no way she's living after that. Like, I know it's the Marvel Universe. In theory, she could get medical care that would save her, and maybe even in real life, someone could, in theory, survive that. But I think the probabilities of that are pretty low, especially in a story world where story demands drama, and killing her is, yeah, that ups the stakes and the drama tremendously going forward, because she was what held Fisk back from going on his worst impulses. She stated that in her meeting with the governor, which I liked that scene, but I also felt like there was not quite as much drama as there could have been in that moment. I thought the governor was going to like have more pushback in that moment than she gave, so a little bit on that front. I wish that scene had been better. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Charlie Cox and Karen Page, I love that they did a little kiss there in the superhero suit. I don't think we've had that in a minute. It's just classic superhero stuff, and I really enjoyed it. And just, yeah, overall, this was a great episode. I am thoroughly satisfied. I am looking forward to where this is going to go in the future. I do hope we get Jessica Jones in the next episode, because I do want her to play a substantive role in how the remaining episodes go on that front. I know the mid-season teaser finale that came out, I didn't watch it because I saw there was a little bit of Bullseye footage going to be shown. I was like, no, I just want to see that in the episode, and I am glad because that was good. But I did hear the snippet everyone's talking about where she's like, they came to my house where my baby is. So, like, obviously they're doing the Luke Cage and Jessica Jones having a child together thing, which I'm looking forward to. But again, I hope that shows up earlier in this season, so that way it feels like she has a substantive role in this series. But we'll see how this goes forward on that front. Let me know, what did you think of this episode of Daredevil?